Okay, so our topic for today is CSS grid layout. So what is the use of the CSS grid layout? It's a grid-based layout system that has a rows and columns, and making it easier to design web pages without using floats and positioning. So we don't need to use float and positioning. And grid properties are of course supported in all modern browsers like Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera, Brave. Din ni Mao. This one. I guess this was the last activity. Now, so we're going to use the grid layout. I will show you the grid layout that was I guess we tackled that one. I guess I discussed that one with my previous video, the grid view. Wala. So, what can I show you? Grid. This. This one. Grid view. Katong na ay header. Sa header. Header, then I menu, then I main. This one. Like this. That one. So, header, then sidebar, then I content, and footer. So, dagan pa ni actually. So, by using a grid view, we can design our web pages. Like this. Or maybe this one. Depende ninyo. So, you have a header, na navigation, a sidebar, content, then, of course, there's a footer. Yun, perdagan pa ni. So, at the end of this video, I hope you can create like this. This will be your hands-on 11. Okay? And, okay, so let's try. So, gonna remove this one. Create, aming bahay, di tayo mag-aaway. Magsumbagay ra. Okay, so I'm going to create. So it's a so I'm going to create a parent div. It has a class of let's say this one is the grid container. Going to fast forward this one later. This one too is div class. Div tag for 1. I will just explain this later on. And this is the div child. The parent is this one. This is the container, while this one is the item. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hi, Cherry! Cherry! And 9. Of course, it's just a number. So, if you're going to run this one, number ay makita. Diba? Okay. But each numbers, we put a div. Diba? To, what is div for? Okay, so according to my previous video, so div is a content division element. If you're going to run it, there's nothing happen, not unless if we're going to put a style on it, or to identify the div, we're going to put a style, because div is just only a division for each of the division of each section. Of course, how to style the div. So let's put a CSS. But then external man to. Now ako sa internal. Hanap. It's internal, so I'm gonna put a style here. Style. So it's internal lang siya. Parang gipasulod. So we have two division. So we have grid container. We have the parent div, which is grid container, and the child div, which is this. But we have to put a class on it. So it's a grid item. Grid dash item.
Yun. Let's copy it to all the child div. Wish I could be part of that. Okay, the one.
So we have a class here, which is grid container, and a grid item. So we have to put a classes so that we can put layout or style in each of this grid item. So in style, so you have to style first the container. It's called like a class, which is the grid container. And then, of course, to have a grid view, you have a grid properties, which is display, and then grid. That one. And then we have grid dash the template columns. So let's put an automatic. An auto. So column is pa vertical. So since tulura man ka auto, iyang i-divide ang atong browser into 3. We're gonna try to run it. Dili man. Oh wait. Why? Oh wait. Sorry. So since siya man ang parent div, dapat na siya sa ubos. Mag-entag siya after the child div. Ay. Oh, that one. So we have a 3 column. So if ato ning i-upat ka auto, it's not a, oh yeah, that one, upat pa siya. Like that. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put background color. Say background dash color is, let's say it's blue. I'm gonna put padding too. Padding is gonna 10px. Gonna use the 10px. Okay, 10px. Iyahong padding. That one. Now, so we have the grid view. Sakit tapos mata ning blue eh. Gonna change it into pink. Ano na lang. So, to make this view nicer, you have to style the item. So, gonna call the grid item grid dash item, diba? Oh, sorry, that one. So another one na put. Okay, so you have the grid item. Gonna put background color gray, or I don't know. Then I'm gonna put border para ma-identify na to ang border. So 1 px solid block. And then gonna try to run para makita na to. Okay, that one. I'm gonna put padding para mas nicer. Gonna padaka na to 20 px. Okay, that one. 20 px. Then size of the font, let's say 30 px. And ito ipa-center ni siya. Text align is send. So that's it. It's a great view. The color is white. The color is white. Oh, that one. But if ganan ka duwara, it's gonna remove the 2 auto. Then duwara po siya. So that's the grid view. That's 4. Okay. So the elements becomes a grid container when if we're going to use the display property, and we're going to set this into grid, or let's say this one. Aside from grid, pwede siya inline grid. So inline dash grid. Inline dash grid. Pwede siya inline grid. Pero if ever mo kita, hi, this is grid view. Since inline man siya, so sumpay na po siya because it's an inline grid view. Pero if dili siya inline, like naka-block lang siya, ay like grid, it's a block display. Naka-block ni siya. That one na sa ilalom. It's because iya mang kwaon iyon tibok space. Sa inline, you can put a text beside of the grid. Okay, but our purpose here sa grid view is to display a very good layout to our web browser. So that's why some of the programmers, they use grid view, or some of the students are using grid view para maging responsive inyong kinama. It's like that. It's very responsive. Ta-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, next. Hoy, ito lo ni ha. Okay, so the vertical lines here are called columns. So these are the columns. This one, 147, 258, and 369. This is called columns. While rows is this one, 1, 2, 3, the 4, 5, 6, and the 7, 8, 9 are called rows. And gaps, so I mean the spaces between each column and rows are called gaps. GAPS. So you can adjust the gaps by using column dash gap properties or row-gap properties or gap. Example, I'm gonna put an example. So, atong buhaton, of course, dito ta sa container. And, I'm gonna put column dash gap. Let's say 50 px. That one. And, ato pod i-gap ang row. So, row dash gap. So may bago ron row. Grid row. Gonna try this. 50 px. So grid row la. Bago ni siya. Sa una, it's grid dash. It's row dash gap. Same ra, column dash gap. So, maybe na. Kay ko akong ikan ang row dash gap. Wala man. So maybe manilang bag oron. So, since dako naman kay siya, gonna put 20 px. Here too is 20 px. So, that's the row gap and the column gap properties. So, but we have a property for the row gap and the column gap properties, like a shorthand property nga sila dyan duwa. Like column and grid row together. So, gonna put gap. Oh, why? What's wrong? A grid gap. Guess it's grid gap. Let's say 100 px. Gonna. So, the coding spaces, that one. So, grid dash gap is a gap for column and row at the same time. So, ito siya ibalik. So, it's 20 px. Okay, that one. I hope you understand. Next is, we have the grid lines. This one, line 1, line 2. This one is column. Column nindere, 147, 258, 369. But here is, we have the grid lines. So, line 1 and line 2. But tawag ano is column line. Column line 1, column line 2, column line 3, and column line 4. And aside from column lines, we have row lines. So, row lines 1 and row lines 2, row line 3, NIS, and row line 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example for the grid line. So, as of this moment, we're going to call the grid item 1. So, atong i-design each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line. Kay line man atong column line man atong kanon. Ang column line man atong gamiton to customize. We're gonna edit this one. We're not gonna use the grid item. Sample kani, item 1. So, the item 1.
Sige, tatabi. So, we're going to customize the grid line in each grid container. So, kaning items atong panggamitan. Each item. Kaya kung magpareha ni sila og class, maglibog siya kay lalahi biya sila og line.
So, this one. So, it's grid, ato i-edit ni. Container. And then, div. Oh, that one. What do you call this one? It's combinator. It's a child combinator, so that all these properties will contain to the child div, since grid container is the parent one. Look at here, since div is the grid container is the parent wall, so yang i-call ang child, so we have to use the child combinator. Okay, so may siya. And then this one, gonna call the item, let's say item 1. Item 1, so you have the grid dash column start. The grid column start si 1 column atong giminha, paana, patindog column, vertical rows is pahigda, ang patindog is column. So si item 1, which is number 1, ano siya ha. So si item 1, where mag-start si item 1, pa row. Sa atong buhaton, patindog. Grid row starts at row 1, and a grid column start at 1, and grid column end at 3. Okay, so we're gonna run that. So nag-start siya sa 1, which is 1, 2, 3. So nag-end siya sa line 3. So nag-start siya sa line 1, nag-end siya sa line 3. For column 2, we're gonna try this. It's either di siya mo run or mo run siya, pero sa next line siya mo follow. Oh, this one, next line siya. Sa next line siya mo follow. So 1, 2, and 3. Si item 5, like waon niya ang tibuok space sa grid. So start sa line 1 until 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 4, column 4. And siya sa column 4. So si 5 mulapad na 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you play a grid view using grid column start and grid column end. How about rows? So sa row, kigaan naman ta, palapad na po si row. Gonna try for rows. Let's erase this one. I know. Okay. This time mo value. Okay, so for column, this is the column line. For row lines, so rows na po ta. This one, row 1. First row line, second row line, third row line, and fourth row line. So let's change this one to row start. Row start and grid row end. So let's say start siya si item 1, nag-start ni 1, and siya into ato hudon na. Like si 1, hudon ni 1 ang space sa row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan siya sa. So row line iyahong sundon. So kani si 1 mahimong muda ko si 1 iya like iyahong iyang kwaoning first space aning nga column. Okay, that one. So it's grid 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's put it 5. Okay, that one. So, ang line nga 5 is just 1, 2, 3, 4, and line 5. So, yung grid nag-start sa row 1 until nag-end sa row 5. I'm not sure if idungan, pwede ba siya sa column? Like, idungan sila sa column. Gonna try lang ha. I'm not sure with that. So, grid, column, end, and start. So, nag-start siya sa 1, end po siya sa 3. So, maybe mo work. Wala pa siya maayo. That one. 1, 2. So, 1, 2, and 3. So, row 1, row 2, row 3. Ay, yes, 1, 2, and 3. That one. Nya, 4 raman ni. Okay, 4 raman na tong columns. Template column na to is, 3. So, 3 raman atong column. So, 1, 2, and 3. So, we put here 3 auto columns. So, 1, 2, and 3. Pero iyahong lines is 4. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here, ni-move siya. Of course, move atong mga boxes sa ilalom if ang atong usa ka section or usa ka container iya i-provide iyang kwaon ang mga spaces, automatically ang the rest sections will create another columns, another rows. Another rows. As long as the column is 3 ra jud siya kutob. If na may ipapugos nga padakan sa taas, automatic the section or each container will create another rows. Wala man ta nagbutang diri pila ka rows, so ato na is only the columns. So we put 3 columns, so 3 ra jud siya. Okay, so this is the grid view part 1. Let's continue for the next one.